Hello everyone. Today our group would like to talk about productive aging in Japan and Denmark. First of all, please allow me to introduce my team members. My name is Lin Jing and my team member is Zhang Shuo, Liu Wenlu, and Li Xiaoyu. Here is the outline. To start with, we will illustrate the productive aging in Japan and Denmark. Then we'll mention the influence of cultural factors on productive aging. After that, we will consider factors influencing productive aging in Denmark and Japan. Finally, we would illustrate the influence of the age of productive aging on long-term development in Denmark and Japan. Hello everyone, I would like to talk about the illustration of productive aging in Japan and Denmark. My part includes 4 contents. Firstly is the definition of productive aging. And then I would like to talk about why do Japan and Denmark need productive aging. After that, I will give some actions for achieving productive aging in these countries and give some improvement. At the 1983 Southwest seminar, Belder said that many people expressed concern about cost and dependency of old age. Well, he wanted to suggest the mobilization of productive potential of the elders in the society. According to WTO in 2002, the active aging is regarded as the optimizing process of the elder physical and mental health, with social participation to enhance quality of life in old age. In 2002, Hankey held the opinion that the concept of productive aging concentrates on social and economic activities, which elders could take part in, including both paid work and unpaid activities. So we can conclude that productive aging can be defined as the participation of older people in meaningful activities that provides values to the society and themselves. Well, why Japan and Denmark need productive aging? For one thing, they all have aging populations. During the same period, Japan's population rate aged over 65 will increase from 28.2% to 28.4%, and Denmark will increase from 20.2% to 25.3%. Both rates in these 2 countries exceed the world rate. Additionally, in 2020, Japan and Denmark's life expectancy exceeds the world age, which are respectively at the age of 84.4 and 80.7. In 2060, they show the same tendency. However, the fertility rate of 1.48 children per woman in Japan and the fertility rate of 1.79 in Denmark both lie considerably below the rate of 2.29 that is needed to maintain the population in the world. So these 2 countries have faster aging populations in the world. Another, pressure on the productive population is high in both countries. As the bar graph shows, both the old age dependency ratio in Japan and Denmark are obviously higher than the world's. In Denmark, it would increase from 39.3% to 52.7% between 2020 and 2060. While the situation is more so in Japan, which current age dependency ratio stands at 56.9% and will worsen to 92%, almost 3 times than the world in 2060. This tendency means that most of people in this country do not engage in their labor force, which indicates more financial stress on working people and society. Therefore, the participation of all people in meaningful activities is necessary in these two countries. Actually, they do take some action to promote productive aging. I will take two main actions as example in this country. Firstly, they all chose to extend the retirement age. In Japan, during most of post-war period, that age was 55. However, government social security payments normally begin at the age of 60. Workers are forced to find re-employment to fill the 5-year gap. Therefore, in 1986, the Japanese state passed a law to provide various incentives for firms to raise their retirement age to 60. As Japan's population ages, to avoid massive increases in premiums, the age will increase gradually to 65 years old with 2025. Accounting for these longer life expectancies, the retirement age for the public pension scheme will be raised in tiers. While some deaths are still retired at the age of 65, the retirement age will be increased gradually to reach 69 years old by 2022. For 2030 onwards, it will be increased a maximum of 1 year every 5 years. People over 60 continue to work for various reasons: to supplement inadequate pension incomes, to give meaning to their lives, or to keep in touch with society. Another action is that they both take mixture retirement income to relieve the pressure on pension. Denmark's retirement income system comprises a public basic pension scheme, mixed tax supplementary pension benefits, and a fully defined contribution scheme, and mandatory occupational schemes. In Japan, the current system consists of the national pension system and a series of voluntary private pension plans. Although they do take some actions to promote active aging, there are still some improvements in their systems. Pension system in Denmark has an asymmetric interest rate and are influenced significantly by labor market. As global financial conditions impact household debate and consumption, Denmark's deep integration in the world economy introduced risk, which means pension systems in Denmark are influenced by labor market, so that the Danish system could be improved by raising the level of household saving and reducing household debate, and increasing the labor force participation rate at old age. According to the MMGPI released on 2019, Denmark was the nation to receive an A grade, while Japan just got a D grade. It means that system in Japan that has major weaknesses or omissions that need to be addressed. Without these improvements, its sustainability are in doubt. Additionally, the challenges of aging in Japan are more considerable, which old dependency rate already exceeds 50%. For these two reasons, pension reform needs to be greater sustainability in Japan. Japanese system could be improved by these four measures. Firstly, raising the level of household saving. Secondly, continue to increase the level of pension coverage and hence the level of contributions and access. Thirdly, introducing a retirement that part of the retirement benefits must be taken as an income stream. Fourth, announcing a further increase in the state pension age as life expectancy continues to increase. Finally, reducing government debate as a percentage of GDP. In conclusion, Denmark and Japan have similars in terms of population aging, but Denmark's policy is better than Japan's.
Okay, hello Vincent, hello everyone, I'm Brian, and now is part two. The part two is the influence of cultural factors on productive aging. So in the first place, I have to introduce the definition of culture. And culture is a symbol system that expresses the life and thinking styles of members of a cultural system, thereby shaping their behavior. Culture is a common value and is not limited to ideological and interest considerations. Culture is related to history, practice, and discourse related. Bendick's definition of culture is a way of thinking and acting through the activities of a certain nation, a way of making this nation different from any other nation. The overall culture of a particular society provides a set of relatively clear behavior norms and value standards for the members of that society, which in the final analysis is a set of value systems. First is family values. The influence of family culture on aging is multifaceted. The family not only profoundly affects the old life of the elderly, affects the elderly's way of providing for the family members, but also affects the family structure, which has an important impact on the elderly activity level after retirement. The Danish family structure highlights a constant Nordic style of advocating freedom and independence. According to a research report by French sociologist the Danish people are less inclined to regard the family as a community of interest for production cooperation. He regards the family as an independent emotional unit that expresses personal wishes and reflects personal freedom. And the diversity of family structure models are also widely recognized by Danish society. The concept of family is subdivided into the concept of marriage, husband and wife relations, intergenerational relations, and parenting. For the first two, the Danes regard marriage as a combination based on personal emotions and free choice. At the same time, they are more tolerant for some social phenomena such as unmarriage, cohabitation, dinky families, and separated families. According to Eurostat statistics on household and family structure, the proportion of one-person households in Denmark in 2014 was 43.9%, which means that nearly half of the households in Denmark are occupied by a single person. The proportion of families composed of 2 adults is 27.8%, and the proportion of families raised by one child is only 5.2%. It can be concluded that in Denmark, the vast majority of young people no longer live with their parents after they reach adulthood. And because the Danish government will provide subsidies for young people receiving higher education, they do not need financial support during their studies. Excessive dependence on parents has further promoted the formation of family structure, where the two generations are separated. Under this kind of family concept, the co-living relationship of family members is often difficult to maintain for a long time, especially the support and care for the next generation, or the children of the children in the model relationship. According to USGA's 2019 date, in Denmark, 66% of children under the age of 3 are taken care of by public child care institutions, which reflects the weak concept of family parenting in Denmark. Therefore, the degree of productive aging of Danish elderly within the family is relatively low, because the single living families account for nearly half of the country. The proportion of families living with children is also low, and they lack adequate practical conditions for caring for family members. Religious beliefs and social culture. Denmark believes in Lutheranism and Japan believes in Shintoism and Buddhism. The co-housing movement emerged in Denmark in 1960, and the movement encouraged community residents to share community space and engage in social interaction within the community. Lutheranism has a long history of nearly 200 years in Denmark, and Denmark established Lutheranism as a state religion through the Constitution in 1848. Although Denmark upholds religious freedom, according to a survey in 2018, 75.3% of Denmark are Lutheran religions, according to research by Scholar. 17% of Danes over the age of 50 actively provide voluntary and non-paid activities to people outside their family. Influenced by religion teaching, Danes have a higher degree of social participation. Although Japanese religion does not encourage people to actively participate in society, mutual support based on blood and community-based relationships is deeply rooted in Japanese culture in the form of neighborhood committees of local organizations and unpaid leadership positions, such as district welfare commissioners. 14.3% of 80 years old activity participate in voluntary activities. Their activities are mainly concentrated in nature and environment protection, neighborhood activities, and care for the elderly and the disabled. In addition, the gender gap is more obvious among the elderly who participate in voluntary activities. Among the elderly over 60, more men than women participate in voluntary activities. 31% versus 26%. This is because Japanese non-profit organizations adopt the same linear leadership system as companies, and this management style is consistent with a company where Japanese men worked before they retired. Therefore, men show stronger adaptability.
Now, I will talk about factors influencing the productive aging in Denmark and Japan. Firstly, I will talk about welfare policy. The pension insurance system of Danish government includes not only the government pension, but also nursing homes and all-around social service according to the various needs of the elderly. The above services are provided by the Danish government, and individuals need not or only need to be a small part of the cost pension. Then, from the table, we can see the Denmark has 4 pillars of old age security. The first pillar is state pension. The second pillar is ATP pension, and the third pillar is occupational pension. And the last pillar is personal saving for retirement. In terms of Japan, the national welfare policy level and the service coverage count than Denmark. Japan old age welfare policy contains only care insurance, pension system, and interface due to the aging degree of the workforce and the aging population than Denmark. But the number of the contributions is become less and less, and more the number of the pensioners. Therefore, an increasingly heavy burden for the government. So, as a result, elderly Danes enjoy a high level and more comprehensive pension policy in terms of both the amount of pension they receive and the public expenditure of the government. So they are more likely to be protected from hardship due to the lack of the financial income after retirement. In contrast, the elderly in Japan receive less financial support from the state pension system after retirement, so they need to work more and meet the economic and material needs. So result in a high level of productive aging. The second point is intergenerational relation. Although Japanese culture is influenced by Chinese culture, Japanese family concept is very indifferent and human relations are so weak. So when children leave home as adults, they will not contact their parents except for business or money. And sometimes brothers and sisters don't contact and communicate with each other. And parents and children do not interfere with each other. Over the past 3 decades, the number of single-person households in Japan has doubled to 14.5% of population, mostly men over 15 and women over 18. Every year, more than 13,000 elderly people in Japan die alone in their house. Maybe after a few weeks, their neighbors found them. And a government survey found that 25.9% of elderly people in Japan don't have a friend, and some are so lonely that they don't even have anymore to attend a funeral other than family. Although most families live alone in Denmark, most parents do not live with their children. However, due to the high level of old age security in Denmark, the elderly in Denmark are less affected by the low-level intergenerational support. It can be seen that the level of intergenerational support for the elderly in Japan is very low. In addition, there is less economic income after retirement, so the old people in Japan need to work again after retirement. Japan has the highest elderly employment rate of any other country, with the most number of the elderly employed and the employment rate increasing since April 2020. The number of the old workers has risen for 16 years in a row, and to a record 8.92 million. Old works make up a record 13.3% of workforce.
My name is Li Xiaoyu. Today, I want to talk something about the influence of the degree of productive aging on the long-term development of Denmark and Japan. According to resource data from the World's Population Aging Ranking, as of 2019, Japan is the country with the most aging population in the world, with 26% of the population over 65 years old, ranking first in the world. Denmark ranks 17th in the world, with people over 65 accounting for 19% of the total population. The 2016 edition of the World Health Statistics Report released by the World Health Globalization shows that the average life expectancy of the global population in 2015 was 71.4. While the Japanese mentioned the world's first longevity country with an average life expectancy of 83.7 for more than 20 years. Japan is the most aging country in the world. Japan not only has a long average life expectancy, but also a long healthy life expectancy. Japan's elderly poverty rate is relatively high, reaching 19%. The elderly in Japan needs to obtain income through reemployment. Japan has a higher degree of productive aging. The higher the degree of productive aging, the higher the reemployment rate of the elderly and the higher the social participation. From an economic perspective, in Japan, there are a large number of elderly people and their average life expectancy is longer. Therefore, the elderly have enough time and energy to reemployment. which can alleviate the shortage of jobs in the labor market. Compared with young people, old people are more loyal, reliable, and satisfied workers. Compared to training new employees, old people have sufficient experience, and return experience is usually cost-effective. From this, we can see that productive aging can not only make up for the shortage of resource in the labor market, but also improve the cost effectiveness of the company, which have a positive impact on the long-term development of the Japanese economy. In terms of national policy, due to the high degree of aging of the Japanese population, labor shortage has become an important issue for Japan's development. Therefore, the Japanese government needs to adopt an active immigration policy to make up for the shortage of jobs in the labor market. However, due to the high degree of productive aging, the re-employment of the elderly can alleviate the shortage of some jobs. Therefore, in the future, the Japanese government immigration population may be adjusted greatly, and it will no longer require a large number of labor. It is a need for highly skilled professionals to supplement those positions that the elderly people cannot do. Compared with Japan, Denmark has a lower aging degree and a shorter average life expectancy. The pension insurance system is the core of Danish welfare policies. The Danish government has formulated a large number of welfare policies to ensure that all Danish citizens can live safely after retirement. With sufficient benefits, they will not continue to work to create value, so the degree of productive aging is low. In terms of social relations, the Danish government's pension insurance system not only increased government's pension, but also nurse a house and provide a huge range of social services according to the various needs of the elderly. These benefits require a large amount of funds to support them. Most of the government's fiscal expenditure comes from taxation. If the high-level pension benefits regularly increase the burden on the government's finance, the government will inevitably increase the tax rate and expand taxation. The Danish government is also doing the same. The Danish pension policy belongs to the pay-as-you-go system. That is, taxes are collected from the young and middle-aged generations to pay the pension of the elderly. If the tax is further increased, it will stimulate intergenerational conflict in the society. As far as the national policy is concerned, because the pension system needs to pay a lot of money, the Danish government needs a huge tax policy to support it. At present, the tax types levied by the Danish government mainly includes personal income tax, corporate surplus tax, asset and real estate tax, value-added business tax, and consumption tax. However, Denmark still has a problem of aging. and the number of elderly people is increasing. So the pressure on pension is increasing. In the future, the Danish government may formulate more tax payment policies to provide people with social benefits. This is our reference. That's all for our presentation. Thanks for watching.